everybody! Welcome back to Katie's Turbo 5, and today, as promised, we are going to do a tutorial on terrariums. Now, David has been really wanting to make a terrarium for a while. He had, where we used to live, one of the neighbors was making them and selling them, and he thought they were really cool, so they would collect stuff for her to help her make the terrariums. So we have the black rocks like we showed in the last video. We got these at the Dollar Tree. They're a really fine rock, so that is going to be our bottom layer.
And we got some white rocks from the Dollar Tree.
Yep, and here's the tag from that. That is going to be the top layer, and then over here, let me just show you, I have a big bag of soil that we're going to be using as well, because the soil is the middle layer. So I have this glass vase. It's kind of a wide glass vase. You can use anything really, any kind of a glass container. So I have this at home, so this is what we're going to use. And I went to Home Depot today, and I probably could have gotten these succulents cheaper if I had chopped around a little bit, but I didn't. I was on my lunch, so I just grabbed them. I paid $14 for 3 of them. So we got this one, and so these are all live, and this one. Okay, now before we get started, some tips and tricks. So we researched this a little bit today. And so I did. So some tips and tricks. Do you want to grab the chair so you can sit up a little bit so you can see? Go ahead. So the first thing I want to tell you about the succulent terrariums is that a lot of people don't realize that the succulents are actually desert plants, and so they don't need a lot of water. So
the desert plants, they don't need any water, not that much, because they were planted in the
desert. Yep.
Desert, so it doesn't really matter.
Right. So they don't require a lot of water, and from what I've understood from all the websites I went on, where I gathered my information, is that it's not good for them to sit in wet soil. They don't like it. It can cause bacteria on the roots, and then you get root rot. Try to say that 3 times fast.
It's bad, guys. If you don't know that,
we don't want them to stay wet. So when you water them, you want to gradually water them, just a little bit at a time. And then the other thing was
a little on the plants.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, we'll probably a good spray on the plants. And then the other thing is to let your soil completely dry out before you're ready for your next watering. Let the soil dry out, and it actually referred to like testing a cake from the oven. To put your fingers in the soil and see if it is if it bounces back, then it's dry, and if it sinks, obviously it's too wet. The other thing they talked about was removing any dead pieces on your plants, because that's not healthy for them. So this one actually has a few dead pieces, as you can see here. So they suggest snipping off any dead pieces that you find on your plants. And if you find one of your succulents that's starting to die, take it out of the terrarium right away, because it'll kill the other plants. It'll get that root rot, and it'll kill the rest. So talking about light, one more thing we're going to talk about before we make it.
I want to get it right now.
Okay.
Is this it right now?
You can go ahead and pick it off.
Yeah. The yellow ones? Okay.
Yeah, the yellow ones. He's going to pick off the dead ones right now on that one. So talking about light, the best lighting. So when they said, so they said if you have too little light for your succulents, for your terrarium, they'll grow tall and they'll bend because they're looking for light. So that's a way to tell if there's too little light. Also, they'll become pale and lose their color. If there's too much light, the leaves will burn. They'll actually get a sunburn, they call it, and they'll get spotted all over their leaves, and they'll dry out as well. So those are 2 things that you can look for to see if it's too much light or too little light. You may have to play with it a little bit. They said also don't put it in direct sunlight, especially where it's in these glass globes, because it kind of holds in the heat, and it can be too much. So no direct sunlight. And watch for those tips and tricks as far as where you put your terrarium to see how well it's doing. You may need to move it around the house. So let's get started. We're going to start, so the first layer is
dirt.
Is the fine black rock. The fine black rock, okay? So, yeah. So let's do half a bag first, just to see what that looks like, Dave. So he's going to put half a bag in. Okay, let's just kind of shake that a little bit. Even, and I think the bottom layer is really to let the water drain below. Okay, so we're gonna add some more, I think. Shake that around so it's even. Okay, I think that looks about right. And then it says to add the soil. And the other tip is you don't want to bury your plants too far. You want soil, but you don't want them to be really thickly buried. So we're going to do enough soil. We're going to put a tiny layer right now on the bottom. Can you even that out? Just kind of smooth it out with your fingers.
Okay.
Okay. So we put a tiny layer on the bottom.
Yeah, we'll probably put some more. Wait.
Yeah, we're gonna put.
Wet, right?
Yep. So let me just show. So far we've done.
Hey, I'm trying.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Just.
I don't want to make the video too long because it will cut out, buddy. So we got to kind of try to move. Okay, wait a minute, because we still have to put the plants in. So right now we have the bottom layer, and it's hard to see because it's dark, but we have the bottom layer of the fine black rock. We have a layer, just a small thin layer of soil, and now we are just going to take our succulents out. So you can take that one out, and we're going to place them in where we want them.
It's somewhat small.
And you're going to kind of shake it around a little bit to get those roots activated again. You may have to play with it to get some of the, it may be too much dirt on there, so you have to play with it. Take out the next one, buddy.
This one, how did you fit all of them?
So we're gonna get them right in there.
That's a little bad for them.
No, they're gonna sit right together nicely. And we're gonna just, again, like I said, we're just gonna kind of squish the bottom of the roots and just try to get them a little activated again. Okay, and we're gonna squish that one into there.
Can't do it.
Just gonna move them around until we can fit it. And then we are just gonna kind of add soil. Do you see where this? So we've got them in here,
I can't
guys.
see the plants.
We've got them in, and we've got spaces where we need soil. As you can see, there's spaces where we need soil. So we're gonna go through and we're gonna add some soil. Okay, buddy. So I'm gonna put some down here, and you just kind of work it through with your fingers. Okay, push it down.
It doesn't really matter. We care if we made a mess because
we can sweep it.
we have a butler.
No, we don't have a butler. I'm the butler. Okay. So make sure these leaves are all up.
I'll clean it up.
Are you doing your job? You're supposed to get that dirt in there.
I'm
See?
not doing my job. I'm just cleaning this up.
He's just playing with the dirt. Yeah. So I'm gonna work this soil in here right now, guys, and I'll show you what it looks like in just a second. Dave, don't put that up, sir. So people can see the.
See, it's a code.
Oh, you're showing the plants. That's
Sure.
a good idea.
I'm showing the code. See, that's the code right there. Okay, hello. Sorry about that. It's been 8 minutes.
Okay.
And some seconds. Ow.
So hold on, guys. I'm going to show you what this looks like in just a second.
These. Oh.
David, do you want to get a cup of water going? So we have a cup of water ready?
Yeah, bro.
Thank you. Okay, so I put the soil in.
If my friends are watching, stop me.
I put the soil in, and as you can see, it is right over the top of it. So I didn't go too far. All I did was literally covered, just a little bit below here and just a little bit above the cup. And the other thing is to add the white rocks for decoration. So I'm going to throw some of those in there.
You said no.
Okay, no, not yet though.
Not too much water.
So I'm going to go right around the sides.
Might be.
And I'm going to be careful to keep the leaves up, guys, so that the leaves don't get stuck down in the dirt and get all yucky. David, can you move the camera down just a little bit so that they can see what I'm doing? Can you angle it down just a hair? Keep going, keep going, keep going, so you can see the plant. Yep. Okay, so guys, I'm just adding the white, yep, right there. I'm adding these white rocks. I'm trying to be careful with the leaves.
Do I have to hold it?
If you could just hold it there for 1 minute so we can just show them what we're doing with these white rocks.
I like that, just like that.
Okay.
This
And then we're going to go around, we're just going to go right around every side of it and just make sure every side is decorated with the white rocks.
And guys, I have not started a YouTube channel because I don't think of it. Like,
You do it with mommy, right?
Yeah, but I want to get my own. Like,
Can you angle it down a little bit more? Okay, guys, can you see that? So we're kind of at the end here of adding our white rocks. Add as much as you kind of feel like you need to to make it look full. I'm going to add a little bit more, I think,
It's full.
over here. Okay. So, there we go. And I'm going to turn it. You can just see how pretty, and it's not even, it's just kind of up and down, and I really like that. I like things kind of just a little different. I don't want it perfect. I don't want the shapes perfect.
So
I want it to look a little funky. So here we go. So there is our terrarium.
and it's like a forest in there.
Again, we've got
and
that
the
bottom
rocks.
layer. We've got the soil with the plants. We've got the white rocks around the top rim. And then we have, hold it right there, please. We have our 3 plants in there. So now we're going to add a little bit of water, Dave. Go ahead and add the water.
Okay,
You want me to add it?
No, I want to add it. Can you hold it? Okay.
So he's going to add just a little bit around it.
Is that good?
Yeah, a little bit more.
Good. It should be good.
Okay, and that's it. We're going to just leave it at that. I'm going to put this on my dining room table. There is quite a few windows in there. So
Yeah,
we're
we
gonna
have it
see-
all the time.
Yeah, we're going to see
We're
how
gonna show
it
you.
does in the dining room on that table. And like I said, we may need to move it around to different spots. And like I said in my little tips and tricks at the beginning, look at your plant and see what it needs, because it may need to be moved. It may need less or more sunlight. So you never know. Let me try to fix this. Just trying to add some more. David, you're so silly. So David's happy because he's finally doing this terrarium. He's been asking me to do a terrarium for a while since he's seen one done. So we were going to put moss in it. Because like I said, I have lots of moss outside, but with the jar that I'm using, I don't really have a lot of room in there for it. So this kind of is perfect. Okay, so you guys, there is our terrarium. It's so pretty, you guys. I am just loving it, loving it, loving it, loving it. So we will keep you posted, won't we? We'll let them know how it goes and how it takes, and as we find tips and tricks taking care of it, we'll let you guys know as well. So thanks for watching, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for watching and subscribing, and please hit the thumbs up, right?
Yeah, hit it.
Hit that thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll be back on with another video actually very shortly, because we have a giveaway we're going to do. So
Giveaway.
we have a giveaway. So, guys, thanks so much for watching our tutorial on the terrarium. Let me know your tips and tricks on the terrariums, and how you're doing with yours, if you've done them, and if you have any ideas. And we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching, guys.
And ready? No, wait.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so do you want to see my sister?
She doesn't want to be in a video. My oldest doesn't want to be in a video, guys. You get that, I'm sure.
No,
But anyhow,
I'll just go get her on video.
anywho, we'll see you next time.
No, I want to get on video.